Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to the channel. As you know from last night, my grill was broke, and I did notify Rock Auto last night, and basically what I did was exactly what I said I was going to. I went to rockauto.com/order status and basically followed the step-by-step instructions. What they wanted me to do was they wanted me to basically fill out a form they had on there. It had what was damaged, how you felt it was damaged, what you wanted to do, whether it was have it replaced, returned, refund, what have you. And then also they wanted extensive pictures. I opted just to have my money refunded to me. I was planning on waiting, and I took extensive pictures of the bumper, the damage to the box. Basically, I was waiting on a return address label, and I received an email from them today. Says, we're sorry that your part was damaged. We will be sending you out a full refund for that part, and there is no need to send that part back. So it's $36. Is what it was to ship that part to me. So I guess they felt that it just wasn't necessary to have that back because of another $36 that it would have cost them to get the part back. So they said dispose of it how I wish. So I did get the price of the grill back, or the money for the grill back, full refund, plus I received my shipping, which I thought was pretty cool. Because I had the brackets, the outer shell brackets for the bumper that I ordered too, and I think everything cost me $36 to get everything shipped to me. So I'd have to go back and look at my order. I wasn't 100% sure. The grill and the brackets came from two different places. Rock Auto sells, from what I've noticed, they sell a bunch of different companies' products. And then they're just kind of the middleman that pulls all the orders together. From what I've noticed, kind of like some of the Amazon stuff, you don't necessarily always get everything from Amazon. There is Amazon Prime, and there's Amazon Store, and there's outside sellers also. Kind of, I don't know that much about Rock Auto, but it kind of seems like that's what it was. So, you know, just like the caddy with the fuel pump, what did I have to lose by messing with the fuel screw? Absolutely none. I've never messed with it, and it ended up so far so good working out for me. Better go over here and knock on some wood. Anyway, I was at my local paint store today and picking up some, I was going to get some epoxy because I want some epoxy for some two-part epoxy for this area here that's broke, and then also this area here that's broke. So to get those repaired. So what I found was a SEM product. This is a bumper repair tube. It's a two-part epoxy, kind of like JB Weld, but it repairs damage to rigid and semi-rigid plastics. So what my plan is, today, DeWine signed the papers for no front license plate in Ohio, so I'm pretty stoked about that. So, and also he signed the bill for 10.5-cent gas tax increase and a 19-cent fuel tax increase. So diesel fuel's going up 19 cents, gasoline's going up 10.5 cents, and we no longer have to run a front license plate here in Ohio. Gas tax and fuel tax goes into effect on July 1 of this year. The license plate is July 1 of 2020. So I'm going to continue to try and skate between the lines on the caddy without having to put a front license plate on it. Just leave it on a dash. And then also on the Cummins, on the Dodge, I'm going to fill these holes in where the bracket gets bolted to, and hopefully be able to skate by not having to put a front plate on this too. But while I was picking this up here, I noticed SEM also has a bumper stripper for urethane bumpers. I started sanding on this just a little bit. It took quite a bit to get that off there, so I'm going to try and just strip this paint off there with this bumper stripper. This is for urethane bumpers. I don't have time to get to it tonight, getting a late start. I know I kind of went off subject. I'm getting there. Anyway, I'm getting a late start. It's 8:30. I'm going to get the bump, or I'm going to try I'm going to try fixing the grill. There again, the epoxy was 15 bucks. Excuse me, I need it anyway for the bumper. So why not try and fix the grill also? There is something that I really want for my truck. The guy wants 300 bucks shipped to my house. So I'm trying to save my pennies and scrimp and scrape and save where I can to get that part, because it is so flippin' awesome. And I want it for my truck. Anyway, well, I guess I shouldn't be spending so much money on a caddy, then I would have the money to buy that part for my truck. But anyway, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab my die grinder. As you guys know from last night's video, this is cracked from here all the way through, and then back up, and then back through here. And then I actually did find these two pieces here. I have some super glue on those to try and put those back together for right now. There's still gonna be a hole right here. I think actually to hold it in place, I'm gonna put some super glue on this too and get that glued in place, and then build it up with epoxy on the backside. Never done this before, but like I said there again, what am I out? Absolutely nothing, because I needed the epoxy for the bumper to begin with. So we're gonna try just fixing this one and see if we can't get away with it, and to use this grill. Yeah, hopefully it's gonna work out the way I want it to. And also, I'm also gonna do some super glue on this mount right here, and then build epoxy up on the sides to try and give it just a little bit more structure. But right now I'm gonna go grab my die grinder, and we'll start getting a ground in here. Not gonna grind one in here, because this is where the grill comes to this edge right here, so I don't really need to grind an edge in there. Just on these flat surfaces is where I want to put that little groove. And then when I start putting that epoxy on there, I'm gonna spread this ever so slightly and try and get some epoxy down in that crack too, and let it ooze out the front, and then sand it flat. So anyway, that's the plan for tonight. It will not be completed. It does say it's sandable in, let's see, what did it say? Cures in 1 hour, sands in 15 minutes. So it's 8:30 now. It's gonna be tomorrow when I continue this, but for right now, I don't know. We may try something. We'll try and get something accomplished tonight anyway. And if it's just putting that back together, then so be it. All right, I got a new wheel in my, I still have in my cut-off tool. I still have it in my right angle. This will work out good. I don't think I'm gonna have to switch it over to the straight one. I think this will work just fine. I'm hoping I can get up fairly close to where I want to, get just a little bit of a channel cut in there, and see how it fares for me. I don't know what type of plastic this is, but it seems like as it heats up, it's like that stuff that melts back into place. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit at a time, then peel it out. think that's gonna be good there. Like I said, well, as I do that, I wanna spread that apart when I'm putting that epoxy in there and see what we can get accomplished here. All right, I got my epoxy mixed up. I'm gonna start just globbing some down there, I guess you would call it. Try and be careful not to get it where that mounting tab needs to be. Said this stuff has a 5-minute work time, but I don't know if it does or not. Looks like I got it oozing out of the front, so I'll sit here and hold this for a few minutes because I didn't bring a clamp with me. And then we'll see what we can do to get this piece taken care of also. Alright, while I'm waiting for that stuff to set up, what I think I might do is also use some super glue on this edge and put this piece back in. And then after I get this piece in here, I'm gonna put some epoxy on the back side of it too, because there's just a little bit of a hole that's gonna be left. So I'll put some epoxy in there and fill that hole and sand that out then. You can see that edge is nice and held together there. I'm just going to take some epoxy and put it on this back side back here. Right in through here. I'll fill that all in with epoxy and try and get this to hold. I don't know if this is going to work, but like I said, it was 15 bucks for this two-part epoxy from SEM. I'm also going to take and put this mount back in too, back here. I'll put this in with super glue also, this mount, and then put some epoxy around the edges. All right, I have all three pieces back together again. One thing that I did forget to do. Now, it shouldn't be an issue because I did scuff this area here in the brake itself, and I scuffed all this in the brake itself. But all this that I put in here, I forgot to scuff all that. And obviously the crack is going to be scuffed because of it's not a smooth brake, so that's going to have an etched surface. The only thing I forgot to do was etch all these surfaces to get this to really bond and hold well. But you can see I have that piece in there and that corner done. All this is done. My mount is in there good and solid. I got a little bit of flex here, but I also have a little bit of flex on the side that's not broke too. So I'm gonna let this sit overnight. It says it's secure in an hour. cured in an hour, but I'm gonna let it sit overnight and see what happens. Here's the front side where it did not ooze. It stopped oozing about right there. So I just did whatever every redneck engineering does, is just put a little bit of super glue on there, let that set up, melt in there good. I don't know. If it doesn't work, then it was a complete waste of time. But if it does work, then, you know, I've got $15 in this grill, because this tube of epoxy from SEM was $15.95, no, $16. So it's $15.95. So if it works, I'm super stoked. If it doesn't work, I gotta buy a new one. So it's no big deal to me. Don't care. I at least had to try after. And you know what? I'm very, very thankful to Rock Auto. They took care of me with the refund, and I thought that was awesome of them to do within just a matter of hours from the first email. Now, granted, it took a little bit for them to get back to me, but I sent my dispute to them right around 10:30, 11 o'clock last night after I went in and started doing some editing and stuff. And by the time they opened up today, I had an email from them, and then a few hours later, like I said, I had a refund. So good on you, Rock Auto, much appreciated. SEM, most of their products are available at your local paint stores. They have a multitude of products, so I would suggest for all of your needs, check out SEM. They have a really nice product line. So I think that's pretty much all I'm going to do for tonight. It's going to let that set up till tomorrow, sand on that and get that smooth out, and we'll see what happens. Scuff it with some Scotch-Brite, hit it with some adhesion promoter and some primer, and we're good to go. So anyway, guys, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already done so, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.